Hello and welcome again as we continue the scenic trip. We are going to today start our journey at Chicago, the Windy City, as we continue our westward journey down Route 66 to California from Chicago. We reached our hotel on Chicago River about 28 hours after we left home. By that time, our time difference was 13 hours. We had planned spending 2 nights in Chicago to get some rest, so you can join us explore Chicago in a relaxed manner. We had watched The Founder on a flight from Incheon to O'Hare. It's a movie of how one man's persistence made McDonald a name we know so well. And he was 50s when he started it all. I highly recommend you watch this movie. It isn't really a coincidence he found his legal and financial muscles in Chicago. Therefore, I think Chicago deserves being covered individually here. After a quick lunch, a nap, we headed for Sears Towers, which is also called Willis Towers. Sears, Roebuck and Company is better known as Sears as we know. It was a mighty name in 1960s. You could get everything in all sizes and colors if you walked into any Sears stores in America. As a result, their offices were spread in many locations all over Chicago. Sears knew that for efficiency, they would have to move to a single headquarters. At that time, they used what is big data to come up with a size that could accommodate their future needs. It turned out to be gigantic. Architect Bruce Grahams and a genius structural engineer in Fazlur Rahman Khan had by then changed what Chicago skyscrapers looked. Their creation, the John Hancock Center, literally scraped the sky. Fazlur Khan pioneered what is called the tube structural design and CAD, computer-aided design. Tall buildings have to cope with very high wind speeds and very wide temperature swings. Fazlur in his childhood in Bangladesh had noticed how bamboos, when in a bunch, were resilient even if they were of different heights. He is said to have explained this to Bruce Grahams using a pack of cigarettes. This was to become the design for the Sears Tower.
Your trip to the sky deck will only take about a minute. That means your elevator is traveling at a speed of more than 24 feet per second. The tower opened its doors in 1973 and held the title of the world's tallest building for 25 years. The west antenna reaches 1,730 feet above the Chicago streets. We're now passing 850 feet at San Francisco's Transamerica Pyramid, 970 feet at the Yokohama Landmark Tower, Japan's tallest building, 1,062 feet in Paris's stunning Eiffel Tower, the Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong, 1,250 feet in the Empire State Building in New York. And now we're here, 103 stories up. Welcome to the top.
Malnati's Chicago deep dish or Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. We decided on Lou Malnati. We walked over to Lou Malnati's for dinner. After a 1-hour wait, we finally got our seats. It would be a mistake to show a picture because their pizzas don't have any toppings. The Lou turned out to be divine. Spinach, mushrooms and sliced tomatoes covered in 3 cheese at the right temperature. The Malnati Chicago Classic was superb. Sausage and lots of cheese covered in tomato sauce. Sausage in these parts is like a super slim burger patty. For 3 persons, I recommend you order a small Lou and a personal classic. Next morning, we walked over to Chicago's Millennium Park. The Pritzker Pavilion, which is designed by architect Frank Gehry, is classified as an artistic creation to bypass the strict Chicago park rules. Its speakers have time delay, so concert goers even in the great lawns are treated to the same indoor sound quality. The Cloudgate Plaza with its shining beam structure is a visual treat. The crown fountain with changing faces on both ends is fun to sit and watch. Next door is the Chicago Art Museum. That's where Swami Vivekananda has given his momentous speech. Bang opposite the Art Institute, on the corner of Michigan and Adams Street, set high on a lamppost is the sign that shows the beginning of the historic 66 route. Walk further down Adams Street to the corner of Wabash and you see a newer sign which shows the Illinois US 66 route beginning. Walk over to Jackson Drive and you reach Buckingham Fountain. It was built by a wealthy Chicago family with the same name. The water represents Lake Michigan and the 4 seahorses on the 4 corners represent the 4 surrounding states, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan and Wisconsin. Turn back to Jackson Drive and walk down 20 minutes and you will pass the entrance of Sears Towers. The Willis Towers is now mostly tenanted by the United Airlines. Walk another 5 minutes and you'll get to Lou Mitchell's restaurant and bakery. This diner is a favorite breakfast spot for those starting their Route 66. We tried the Mitchell's Clubhouse, the baked meatloaf and the Likonga Delight sandwiches. Today was our 29th wedding anniversary, so we went for a sail, and what better than on Tall Ship Windy from Navy Pier on Lake Michigan. We went for the 5 p.m. architectural tour, and the guide was delightful. Informative, humorous, he made us laugh for a full hour. We got to learn so much about the buildings on the Chicago skyline, on Grand Park, Lake Michigan. Highly recommended you try. The Navy Pier was built to be a municipal pier, but ended being used as a training center for sailors and airmen for the aircraft carrier. Then as the University of Illinois campus, and finally is now a recreational area.
Is she Allie? Yep, because those are going to pop up, and actually we might have her move too. Because those sheets, so that's going to come out that way. Okay. Sorry.
Drop your head right here.
I don't want you to get rope burn that way.
Or concussion.
Or concussion. I don't know which benefit.
Folks, now that we've got our lower sails set, we're going to get our architecture programming, or as I like to call it, the architecture programming. Hang tight, the jokes just get better.
The River Hotel on East Wacker Drive is right on the Chicago River and is opposite the Trump Hotel, which makes it very easy to find. We walked everywhere from our hotel: Sears, Lew Mitchell's, Malnati's, Millennium Park, Navy Pier, and even the magnificent Mile for shopping. The room was clean, comfortable, there was a water dispenser close by, no street noise, not even from the train, no sounds from next door, great shower pressure, taxis right outside if you need one. We recommend this hotel stay in the Central Loop. The upper floors of this is the CQ, the Club Quarter Hotel.